up, y'all? We just finished another week. How are we doing? I'm sure it's been a little bit stressful. In Illinois, it's been a little bit rainy, kind of down and in the dumps. But ironically, with how shitty the weather has been, I've been feeling pretty good. Done a lot of inward healing for the past couple of months, but a lot this week as well, like meditation and just really sitting with myself and feeling everything out. I've always suffered with a little bit of anxiety, and before, when I had anxiety, I'd be flipping the hell out, like internally, externally to people. It's fucking insane. But this week, I noticed I had a little bit of anxiety, and I'm like, dude, where is this fucking coming from? And then I sat with it and I did my breathing. As crazy as it sounds to some of y'all listening to this, you're like, okay, really? A breath or two is going to do it? Yeah, a breath or two is going to do it. And guess what? I felt better. So I'm going to bring that energy into this weekend, and I hope that you guys are too. But today we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything. I'm still kind of feeling out what I want to do with this pod. I know I have general niches: forensic psychology, mental health, advocacy for different things, to include sexual assault and philosophical things. What else? Pretty much like anything dark academia or questions, conspiracy theories, like getting your mind stimulated. I'm fucking there. I just am figuring out how to put it all together. But again, this is my third episode, and it's already better than the last one, hopefully, with this new quality that I have. I have a 50 millimeter lens that I'm using with my camera right now. Sorry for the listeners that are listening in to probably Apple Music. Um, but it seems like right now that it's a lot clearer. So sorry about the other one. When I uploaded it, just like whatever happened, I'm still learning with technology and stuff. There's a lot of things also on this podcast that I have been wanting to talk about for a very long time, that it's also at the same time taking me a little bit of time to think about how I want to present the information, just because I've always been told not to present the information, and I just have this gut feeling like, Caitlin, you need to talk about it. And it's nothing shameful. I've already put a lot of stuff out there, so anything like within the societal norm of embarrassment, I've done. So what's anymore? But this one is like, I don't know, but it goes into, okay, I'm just going to say, because I'm going to ramble. I'm trying to get better with my speech, and I know that I have a rambling problem, so I'm honing in. With studying all the consciousness stuff and things with forensic psychology, and really digging into the quantum physics field and the idea of consciousness, the studies that we've done on it, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but we have found out that you can scientifically, per the CIA, we can remote view. There are psychics, like there are mediums, things like that. Ghosts, what I used to think were ghosts, are not ghosts. It's just people in that other dimension. But if I were to say people in that other dimension, because we know that we have 11 dimensions now, that's not crazy to say, because it's open now. You're sitting here listening to this like, Caitlin, get to the point. I'm just nervous. I'm sorry. Okay, so I have been wanting to talk about this because it goes into relation to everything that I like: the forensic psychology, the psychology, the consciousness, everything, spiritualness. Ever since I was 3 years old, I've been able to see things. And I used to tell my mom all the time, hey, like, I'm seeing this little girl, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. And my mom was like, yeah, absolutely the fuck not. Like, no, you're not, sweet girl. And so I was like, okay. A very long story short, she ended up believing me and then telling me that actually a lot of family members in my family can do stuff. And so I became more like interested into it, because I'm like, what is this stuff? I started learning a lot about channeling and consciousness and psychic abilities and mediumship and things like that. And then I was always told, hey, don't talk about it to people. Don't talk about it in town. Don't talk about it to really anyone. And then I had a situation arise where I saw something happen before it did ultimately happen. And unfortunately, someone's life was taken. And that really fucked me up. And I was determined to know like everything about this. And I would go to my grandma. My grandma's like, yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about what I know, but she was she was not so open-minded to like everything that we know now. She was just strictly like Bible, Bible, Bible. And what I was seeing and experiencing, I was like, this is not, I mean, I didn't go to church like hardcore. I really don't know a lot. I'm gonna be honest. Um, but the things that I was experiencing were so different than what she was telling me, like what should happen. And there's so many stories I can go on about that. I mean, let me know if you want. I think I've said that before. Let me know if you want a creepy story or like some psychic stories or anything, because I'll give them to you like within reason and stuff. But yeah, so I figured this out. And then it just became like a life mission. Like, as more of my bullshit trauma started coming on to me, and I was seeking a reason, like, what the fuck is the reason? Like, I know everything happens for a reason, but what the fuck was this reason? Having the ability to essentially read people and like channel with people and do all this stuff really opened my eyes to the understanding of why the bad shit happens, why people have to suffer in order to heal, to evolve, to be able to learn life lessons, because essentially Earth is a school. And it's crazy because when I get into topics like this, sometimes I really have to look myself in the mirror and be like, dude, you're going to be a doctor. Like, that's another reason why I was so terrified to like talk about this and to tell people, because a lot of people in my town know now because of that situation. Like, it just ended up kind of spreading. But I was terrified for the longest to talk about it. Even now, like, if you couldn't tell when I was first saying it, like, you can tell I'm nervous because I someday am going to have to go to a board and be like, hey, this is why I want to be in this program to be a doctor or whatever. They could, excuse me, they could see this and be like, huh, bitch. But then at the same time, it's like, who's going to push the norm? Like, everyone is a person. I should be able to talk about whatever I want to talk about as long as it's within reason and it's not harming another person or, destructive in manner or malice or anything like that. Why? And also, like, you can't fire me if I say, hey, just so you know, I kind of like see shit, because it's been proven. Like, they've written shit out. Like, it's a thing. So I was telling myself this a couple days ago in my bed, which I'm sitting in my bed right now. But I was sitting there thinking, and I keep getting this gut feeling from the universe, like, dude, you need to tell people about this, because low-key, it kind of goes together. Like, the forensic psych, the psychic stuff, I don't know how that's going to flow. And we can get into that a little bit because it's an on and off switch for me. Like, yeah, I'm really good at reading people and whatnot because of how I watch in detail the way people move. But the psychicness, like, that's a whole different thing, which we can get into that later. But I'm curious to see how this is going to work together, because we can study stuff like that now. Because if you guys don't know, doctors are like, typically they're not funded by a shitload of people. They have to go find funding. Like, they have to go to like billionaires and shit to be like, hey, can I get some money to study this shit? And the people will be like, yeah, no. So first of all, think about how the rich are controlling all the experiments that we can and cannot do. That's just a side fucking note. Second off, when they're getting the funding and stuff like that, and you're getting money from billionaires or people who are closed off, if they don't want to study some shit that's going to make us better, they're not going to. And especially if it's weird with this stuff, because we're finding out more about the brain, because honestly, we don't know that much about the brain and consciousness in fucking general, other than it's energy, and energy doesn't die. So we're going to exist forever, just in different forms. But we have the ability now to be able to openly talk about this stuff and what's going to fucking happen, because there's so many studies that have come out, and I'm appreciative of that. And then to those scientists before me, hopefully, not hopefully, because it's going to happen, but me in the future when I am a doctor, to compare myself, I'm happy for those doctors now that made those moves for us, that we can talk about this stuff, because even Dr. Andrew Huberman, I talk about him all the time. I love him, dude. Um, he wanted to study psilocybin, and he got a lot of scrutiny for even entertaining the fact. Like, a lot of doctors are very, like, clean cut dry, which we know, but also with the money factor into it, like, no one wants to study stuff that's gonna make us better because the government will lose money. Also, there's so much that we don't know about. Well, we do know a lot about, like, different drugs like psilocybin, LSD, acid. If that's even the same thing, I'm very unfamiliar, to be honest. I know more about the molecular, like, structure and stuff of psilocybin. I used to have it memorized low key, and I forgot it. So don't catch me on a whim. But it helps people dramatically, especially with their depression and reverting, like, their trauma. They can you can kind of re-experience it depending on the experience, the trip. You can have a bad trip, you can have a good trip. The bad trip is never a bad trip because it's needed, so you need to look at life like that. And the bad shit I mean, it's horrible, but you have to pull a positive from it. What is universe teaching you? And this, oh God, it just gets me so, like, hype because last episode I was talking about, how can we integrate what I'm talking about with you guys to the prisons? What if, I know this, some people are going to be like, hell no, we're not doing this. What if we took 5, 6 people that qualified, because obviously somebody should qualify, um, in the jails, and we not only made them meditate and, like, learn this new way of, like, holy shit, I can change my brain, like the neurons and stuff to be happier and, like, set up myself. What if we also did medicinal, like, trips with a supported person? Because people think it's like, oh, woo woo, and this is crazy. Everything is here for a reason. The studies do not lie. It's so much better than half the fucking shit, or probably all of it, on the market. Is it for everyone? Absolutely not, because there's a lot of side effects that you can get from it. Yeah, some people can get psychosis. Some people can get full-blown schizophrenia. Like, it's a very dangerous drug. You should definitely be, I don't want to say very dangerous because it's a natural drug, but if used incorrectly, it can be very dangerous with permanent effects. So that is my warning. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But things like that. And I believe the VA is now going to start doing studies on people to be able to use psilocybin for their mental health and PTSD, or they already are implementing it, which is good. But that just goes back to my point of, thank frickin' whoever source that we have the ability to combine these things. And I don't know why I was so nervous to say, hey, just so you know, I do readings and I'm, like, psychic. Everybody's psychic. Did you know that? Did you know that? Everybody's psychic. When you have a gut feeling, girl, that ain't for nothing. Okay? You got to listen to your gut. If you follow your gut, no matter what, I promise you, it's gonna be good. Even when you follow your gut and it takes you to a negative situation, who's to say you weren't supposed to be in that negative situation for a reason? But most of the time, you following your gut and it goes to a negative situation, you weren't really following your gut. One of the best things that I heard from, I think it was like a YouTube video, I'm not even gonna lie. If you can't figure out what you want to do and you have a gut feeling on something, like, you know how you'd be like, oh, I have an apple right here and I have a banana right here. I fucking want both of them, but I can't have both. So which one do I want? And your, like, gut is saying, like, I really want that banana, but you're like, damn, the fucking apple. And you gotta flip a quarter. Whatever is, like, you obviously heads, tails, or whatever the fruit is. When you flip it up and it's up in the air, whatever's at the top, whatever fruit you think about is the one you really want. I was like, think about it. Shit. That's true. That's true. I feel like sometimes with gut feelings and people's personal feelings, and I'm obviously guilty of it too. We're all human. We're all the same. We're all learning the same life lessons if we pay attention to the world. But it's hard to always pick out what your gut feeling is if you don't trust yourself. I didn't start trusting myself until this year, and I'm 28. Like, that's freaking crazy. And thank God for the people who can, do it earlier in life. And some people think they trust themselves and they really don't, because I did not know what security meant with myself wholeheartedly until this year. And it looks so much different than what I thought it would have looked like. Like, I had friends, honestly, and it's crazy, I had male friends, and this is not it like it shit on them, but we know how it is. Most women are more mature than men. But I have a couple friends, one in particular that I always looked up to when I was in the Marine Corps. I was like, "How do you not get pissed off about stuff? How are you not angry? Like, how are you not irritated?" Like, he would get irritated about stuff, and he just had such a demeanor about him that was so calm. Like, you could not rock him. Like, you could literally be like, "Hey, we have to do 30 hours of this fucking work," and he'd be like, "Okay." You could tell he'd be irritated, but he'd be fine. And like, he was such a good person to talk to and get advice from. And I was like that, but I had a fucking angry side to me, and I had no way of controlling my emotions at all. And so I told him, like, "Dude, I'm trying to be like you someday." And so fast forward, fa- did I just have a list? Fast forward to 2024, and I'm finally in this spot, and I'm like, I can really enjoy this. Like, I can really enjoy what it really means to say, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if somebody doesn't like me. I don't care if they talk shit. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I have realized so much within the universe, thank God, with freaking manifesting and whatnot. At least that's what I believe in, like source. I wouldn't say like the God that you're thinking about. Um, Mine is more so like the source universe. That's kind of how I recall my God. Um, but the signs that I've gotten this year and the growth I've gotten and the feeling of just gratitude and happiness and God, there's to some, me doing this podcast and my social media might be so cringe, so embarrassing, like all of this shit. But it's like, I feel so bad that some people will never experience what it truly means to live. And I know that's deep, but that's fucking me. And it's the truth. It makes me really sad sometimes to know that there are people, thousands, 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 thousands of people on this planet, who will never truly experience life because they are too scared of stepping out of the norm of society. And I'm so fucking thankful. I don't know what contract I fucking signed before coming to Earth. And holy shit, was it hard? Like, I dead ass don't remember anything up until like 2018 until now. And even then it's like choppy, but everything before that is gone. Like, life has been a fucking shit show, man. But the fucking best time ever too. Like, everything happens for a reason. All of the bullshit. I've been able to look at every single avenue now and be like, damn, that's what it meant to me. Like, studying this shit with the universe and the way that the brain works in consciousness and being able to have psychic abilities growing up. Like, what the fuck? I didn't know what the fuck that shit was. And then now seeing how it's all pieced together, dude, it's crazy. How could you not believe in something bigger than yourself? That's why it's not a matter of, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make my manifestations? It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, babe. I'm being so for real. I've never been so confident in my life because the facts are there. And unfortunately, in my second episode, I was so nervous I couldn't get half the stuff out I wanted to talk to you guys about with Albert Einstein and Ann Burgess and stuff. I don't know why I was so nervous, but I was. There's so many people that I want to invite into your life to understand and know by choice. Obviously, you don't, I'm not shoving anything down your throat, but I want you guys to know, especially my women, I want you guys to know more strong, independent women. And that's not to say like y'all need to be strong and independent. You don't need no fucking man. Da, da, da. I'm not saying any of that. I think we do need men, but I also think that as women, we need to have the same equality as men, and women typically fall under that totem pole. And guess what? I'm not fucking having it. And I told you guys on the first episode that you guys will learn confidence from me. You're going to learn different things. It's probably going to be through my life stories, because I can't say, you need to do this. You need to do that. Pardon me, I'm sick. 1 second. Ooh, okay, I'm back. I would never tell someone, you need to do that. You need to do this. Have I done it before? Fuck yeah, I have. Again, I'm still learning things, but there's a way of presenting information that will not make someone feel attacked when it's a negative thing that they're doing, or I don't want to say negative, but like, because not everything's like a negative thing. It's just something not good. So I'm missing out on the terminology to switch that. So I'm going to say negative for lack of a better term. But if someone's doing something negative and you want to be able to tell them, you don't want to always, now I'm guilty of this and I'll still fucking do it for my ride or die bitches. You ask me a question, you're going to get the damn truth. Everybody going to get the damn truth. But the way that I present it is not the same across the board. You're going to get the fucking truth, and it might hurt your feelings, not because I'm going to say it like a bitch, but because I'm going to tell you the fucking truth. Because that's something y'all got to know too, is that when other people ask somebody else, like, oh, does this shirt look good? Does my hair look good? Baby, you only asking because you want them to agree with you. Because let a bitch say no. Unless you're secure with yourself. That's the difference. Because a real bitch is going to tell you the truth. But a fake bitch will also lie to you and be like, yeah, that shit looks so good, and you look dusty as fuck. It's hard for people to come to their emotions and to really like look inward at themselves. And so if you think about your life and you're like, damn, I've done this, like really sit with yourself and think, how have I fucked someone over? Could I have been nicer to this person? Could I have done that? Not the coulda, shoulda, woulda, but you're saying coulda because you fucking shoulda. Like, you shoulda. You did someone dirty. You half-assed something. You're motherfucking lazy. That's okay. Just fucking own it. I remember what I was wanting to talk about in the beginning of the episode, because my mom and I were talking this week, and I was like, dude, I really got to admit something. We were deep in a conversation with something, and she's like, what? I'm like, I don't care what anyone does, but the second someone tries to deny something about themselves that they're like openly doing, I can't fucking stand. And she's like, holy shit, me too. And she's like, in what context? I'm like if someone's doing something wrong, like if you're low key a bitch and like everybody knows you're a bitch, I have more respect for you if you just say like, I know I'm a bitch, than someone who tries to fake that I don't know why no one likes me. I'm not a bitch. Girl. And then, like, roles reverse if you're lazy as fuck. Like, I had friends in the Corps who, some of them did not do anything, but I didn't give a fuck, because guess what? They'd tell me, hey, yeah, I'm lazy and I don't give a fuck. Well, okay, that's all right, Buster. You told me the truth. And she's the same way. And I don't know if a lot of other people are like that, but I value honesty so fucking much. Like, it goes so far. We need communication, and I don't think I can say that anymore in every single one of my episodes. But why are people so scared to say something? And I can answer that because I study psychology. And I've also been reading, I just read the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And I think this one's called I don't think it's the 48 Laws of Human Nature. It might be. It's something Human Nature by Robert Greene. So much good shit in there. If y'all want book recommendations, I have a Goodreads. I think I need to put it in my link tree, or it's already in my link tree, but you guys need to check it out because I have a lot of other books like that too if you're interested, and that shit is fucking good. Learning about how other people behave is essential. And then it goes back into the consciousness and the psychicness stuff, because if you're not in control of your emotions and understanding someone else's emotions around you, you are just like the figure in the game. You're not playing the game. You're the playing piece. You're just living life in auto mode and the societal norm. And I know I keep saying that, and if you're confused by that, it's just, I honestly, I don't have another word for it, because that's all I think of when I say that shit. But it's you're just playing in the game of life. You're not actually a participant of the game. And I was thinking about it earlier, um, because I had listened to this podcast earlier about how someone was pissed off at another person because they had money and then he came from nothing. This guy had like rose from literally nothing and like has millions and millions of dollars and he worked his ass off and shit. And like people are still talking shit about him, which everyone's going to talk shit. But he was going on to say like, people are going to talk shit about you and they don't even know what you did to get there. They don't give a fuck. Like it's all about the pissed off you have what I don't. And I was really thinking about that and I was like, that's crazy because people always say hate the player, not the game. And it's true. Hate the player, not the game. You're a freaking player in the game of life because you're a victim and things are happening to you. And trust me, I've been there too. I just got out of that mindset this year because technically you're a victim to everything if you don't understand why it happened, which can we understand why everything happened right then in that moment? Fuck no. Sometimes it takes years, you know? But you always try to take something positive from that moment and learn from it. What is universe trying to teach you? What is your God trying to teach you? You know, what are you trying to achieve in this life? Life really is not about just get up, hate your life, go to work, come home, hate your life, get up, like repeat, repeat, repeat. We are endlessly put in a path of choosing different things that we want in life and going with our gut and listening to our gut. And we need to trust ourselves more. We need to look more out into the horizon of what is in front of us and what is being led to us. What are we leading to ourselves, whether positive or negative? There's so much that we just don't pay attention to. And again, I gotta say, like, I'm super happy that I grew up seeing that shit because when, growing up for real, I was like, damn, I'm schizophrenic, dude. Like, I'm hearing shit, I'm seeing shit. I don't know why I got blessed coming out the womb like that, but I did. So I'm probably on my like last life or, maybe like closest to last or something because I feel like the people who just come out of the womb and like the kids who just have it, which everybody has it, but it goes away, like people forget or they don't know how to use it anymore. It just goes away. Mine never went away. So I'm assuming that, maybe I have multiple reincarnations or something. And then that's why they was just like, boom, like you already learned so many life lessons. Now your life lesson now is to teach others. Because honestly, I've been obsessed with this shit forever. And the fact that I'm doing it now is just like, I can't even tell you how insane. Like you can't see it here, for the people who are listening either, but I bought softbox lights and they're lights that literally just make everything look softer. And it's like $30, 30, $40, whatever it was. And I was so excited. Like even going around driving and doing the errands that I needed to do for my parents' business today, I'm just sitting here like giddy. Like, oh my God, dude, things are going to come through. I don't know how that's going to come through. I don't know how it's going to happen, but things are going to come through for the best. And like people are going to start being happy around me. There's going to be so much joy, so much gratitude. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's going to be something big, y'all. And I just feel it. Like I'm going to meet a lot of really good people and spread so much positivity and kindness and, different things about forensic psychology too, because there's a lot of things that I want to achieve, and I'm not going to say it now because that would ruin my manifestations, but there's a lot of things that I want to achieve, and there's a lot of things that I want to give back when I do start gaining my manifestations, and that I'm not scared to say because with, generating what I want and coming into a higher part of myself, it's going to start generating more abundance, and I want to be able to share that with people, and I want to be able to, create happiness. Like, what the fuck can I create with what I was given? And how can I apply it to the criminal justice system? That's honestly going to be like one of my main things. I also see, I'm already planning. That's what I'm saying. That's how you have to look at your life. Dude, I'm sitting here talking to y'all like, yeah, I'm doing this and this. Like, I get excited. I can see it in my brain. It's gonna fucking happen. We're on a floating rock. They admitted aliens are real. Psychics are real. The gateway tapes take you to a different dimension. There are 11 dimensions. The metaverse is real. The quantum chip Willow pulls energy from the different fucking dimensions in the metaverse. Manifest your fucking ass off. Trisha Paytas was on SNL. If Trisha can do it, and Trisha can do anything, queen, you can do it. Seriously. Seeing Trisha Paytas on SNL, I was fucking hoping, like, it will open up so many people's eyes, like, please. Because other people think they're like, oh, there's no one at the top, or there's not enough room, and people are just so selfish for their own, like, spotlight. Like, why? Literally, why? There's so much room for everyone. Everyone's got something special about them. Like, it's not even, and I'm not even saying within, like, famousness or the money and things like that. It's just in general. People don't like when other people are better than them. And honestly, take it like a slap in the face. Like, if you're not looking at yourself to better yourself and really understand, like, damn, I'm kind of a shitty person in this way, or even not a shitty person, because not everyone's a shitty person, but maybe like me, I talk over people. If me and Trisha Paytas had a interview together, I would go fucking crazy ham, but I guarantee we would both talk over each other. That's my bitch, dude. But I have a bad habit with that, but I recognize that and I try to handle it in the moment when I'm talking to someone. But do you ask yourself questions? Like, do you actually really question yourself and see what you can improve on and do better? You know, it's just, everyone thinks like they're the know-it-all. They know everything. They're so good, and they're such a good person. Half the people who are nice people are fucking passive aggressive as fuck, or fucking doormats. I'm a nice person, but I'm also not somebody's fucking doormat. And that's how you guys should be too. We should be, I was reading this little passage in the Human Nature book by Robert Greene, and he was saying something along the lines of, it's better to know your darkness and fucking harness it and use it for something good than not know it at all. And to which that he means, if you're walking down the street, okay, I have been training MMA very little, okay, literally a white belt in jiu-jitsu, not even a tab, like very little, okay, and also Muay Thai very little. But I did other things in the Marine Corps as well. Like, I know decently how to fight. Okay, not anything crazy. Definitely would get my ass beat. So I'm not saying whatever. But in like a street fight, that's in the story. Anyway, so if you're walking down the road and somebody comes up behind me and I'm trained in this stuff, would I rather know my dark side of knowing like, hey, I can really do some damage on someone, not just physically, but like mentally, I can unlock that restraint of fight or flight and whatnot. And it can come out in different situations too, because when it comes to something like that, hell yeah, I'm fucking somebody up. But when it comes to like even my past like sexual assaults, I froze every time. Was not a fighter. Everything else, fight. That froze. Still trying to decipher that. Like, so to my experience, at least, I haven't researched this and looked at anything. So this is literally just my experience. Different traumatic events can trigger, your fight or flight, like different ones. But anyway, you would rather want to know the dark parts of yourself and that you can control it and sustain it, rather than be that person walking and someone comes behind and you're like, fuck, I'm toast. It's unfortunate and it's sad. And sometimes it just, regardless, it still happens. But that is an excuse, It's kind of like how when women are like, I really want a man, and you go to the bar with your man, and you're like, oh my God, my man he's such a good man. He's just a big blue collar type. Like, that's not mine. And then something happened and he's like being a bitch. And you're like, really? And like, you are wearing the pants in the relationship. Like, babe, that's not cute. And like, we all know, we've all been in that situation. Don't even lie to me, because I know that we've all been in that situation. And then you just look at him and you're like, ugh, like, you're not a bad person, but like, I'm going to be so for real right now. Like, you can't protect me. And even though I can protect myself, I want someone else to protect me. And I think that goes into nature and whatnot, because a mother technically would have her babies and a mother would want her babies protected by the male. No. But it just goes into fact. You want a man who knows that dark side, but knows how to harness it and control it, but also is such a good fucking man. That is like the epitome of a man. You want to know it in general because that's what shapes your mentality. That's what shapes your psyche. You have such a level up over other people and what you're doing in your life and controlling in your life. And it goes along with manifestation too. If you are aware of things like that, and if you're not aware, that's when we start seeing a lot more depression and, me too. Depression, anxiety, isolating yourself. You're fucking broke. You lost your job. Everybody hates you. You lost your girlfriend. Like you got kicked out of your apartment. And this isn't just one like little scenario. Like your life is going to fucking shit. Or you're just an asshole and a know-it-all. And I want to let you guys know this right now too. I know on my social media, I talk about education a lot and I post a lot of quantum physics and shit. I don't know even a quarter, even like literally 1% of half the shit. Like I know very basic information about that stuff. And I'm not going to say like the full situation, but I've definitely had people in my past, more than one, get very insecure and like envious about that stuff. So me even talking about it, so I don't want anyone, which it's inevitable, it's gonna happen, but I don't want anyone out there to be like, oh, she's so fucking smart and this and the other, she's know it all. I want to say now, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know why that came out like that, but it did. I do not know anything. We can know a lot of information. We can know an abundance of information and different things. I think that's really good. But if somebody ever says or acts like they are a know-it-all, trust me, they don't know shit. Because I'll be the first person to say, like, I don't fucking know about any of that. And that's okay because we're not supposed to know. We have hints and we have, different things that we can store in our brain. But even then, it's kind of like a 30-day kickback. Not everything stays. Even memories are fragments of images of the memory. We don't even keep the whole memory. So, I don't know. But I feel like episodes are going to be a little bit, well, eventually it's going to get better. And I won't have just like this white wall. I'm trying to get some stuff to put on the background here because who wants to look at a white wall? So I appreciate you guys looking at this white wall for me. But eventually I'm going to be setting it up. I've been trying out different corners and lights and things like that. I can't wait until someday. When I go back to Florida, I'm probably going to have my own studio or just get like a townhouse or something and put it in my townhouse. That would be preferable. And then I'm definitely going to dress it up. But I want it to be like, if you guys know Bailey Sarian, I want like that type of vibe / like Joe Rogan. Like I want the alien shit in there and all the weird fucking shit. But then I also want like my dark shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, am I a dark feminine? I don't dress like it. Right now I'm still in the process of losing weight from the past year, but I need to go shopping actually desperately bad. But I've been so fucking busy doing all this content shit. I'm like, fuck it. But yeah, I have this like image in my brain that I want, and I can't wait until it comes to fruition. I can't wait until a lot of my stuff comes to fruition. Like there's so much I'm manifesting, y'all, and you guys are going to love it. There's so many people too that I've been reaching out to and asking to talk to, and they're down, like I'm down. It's just a matter of time when this is going to come together, and I cannot wait for it to happen and to meet you guys, the people who've been following me for however long you've been following me, like to genuinely meet you and to gain friends and to gain the knowledge of other people and see what you're going through and your story and like, how did you get there? How do we do different advocacy things together? Because that's something on my manifestation, I will say. I do want to have some form of advocacy for sexual assault. I was thinking about that today and I was like, maybe someday. I feel like it's coming up because women are really, really getting done with men's shit. And hell yeah. So I don't know. I've never been, as much as I push for this stuff, I've never had the opportunity to do anything with it. I've had friends like in Chicago when BLM was going on, and what was the other one? I think it was the abortion stuff. I can't remember offhand. But I had some friends go in that one, and I was like, damn, like I know that people like look at women like that and they're like, oh my God, like what are you doing? That makes me want to do it more, bitch. Like, fuck yeah. I love it. Oh, I should have been born in the 70s. I really think I should have been born in the 70s. Like, I would have thrived, dude. If I could just give all of you guys hugs and like tell you I love you, listen to every single one of your stories and like really fucking talk it out with you, I would. Genuinely, I fucking would. And I just am like super happy that y'all are even listening to me and letting me do that with you. So I can't wait until I can figure out more ways that we can connect more. So that way I can learn who you guys really are. Because I do know my audience. I have more female than male, like significantly. I think it's like 80 or 90%. I think it's 90% women and 10% male, which is actually a little bit higher than what I thought it would be. So if you're a male listening, thank you for tuning in and not being sexist as shit. We need more of you. But yeah, there's so much that I have going on. I just filmed my first cinematic video, and okay, tell me if you think this is gonna be stupid or not, and then I promise I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't know why, but another download from the universe keeps telling me to film cinematic videos. And I'm like, okay, but that's a lot of fucking work. And like, I'm going to be honest, I don't have the time with school and shit. And I was like, well, what if I did like a short cinematic video and overlaid it with poetry that I write? Because I used to really, really be into poetry. Like, even when I was like little, I think I was around third or fourth grade, I won a poetry contest out of the whole district or school. I think it was the district though. And I won a book by an author of my choosing for my favorite poem. And they wrote me, like they gave me the book and did the signature and all that stuff. It's somewhere. I hope my mom still has it. And I wrote a poem about a bunny. I won that. Like I was actually very creative. I won a lot of shit for drawing and writing. And I just, as time went on and I got depressed, like I just really turned away from everything and then went into the societal norm with all the normies and then think the fucking shit that I got out of there, Ugh, that was scary for a long time. But yeah, so I really was thinking about doing a cinematic video with the poetry layover, and I just want to know how you guys feel about it because I was thinking about adding it to my Patreon. If you guys don't know, I am opening up a Patreon. It's published, but I haven't like officially launched anything yet because when I get that going, I want to make sure that's consistent. I'm there for you guys. Like I can put 100% in. And right now, I'm still feeling it out. I wouldn't want to put out something and then you guys are paying for it. And it's kind of like wishy-washy. I would never want to fuck you guys over like that. When it's free content, yeah, let me figure it out, But when it's paid content, like, no, that needs to be crisp clear. And I'm sure you guys understand that. And whatever. So let me know if you would like one of my tiers to be the cinematography poem idea. If you have any cool other ideas or anything else that you specifically want me to make a video about that you think would be a good series or something that you just want me to say in general on Patreon or free account, let me know. We can talk about it. We can, decipher everything. But there are a lot of things that are going to be coming in 2025. And to see it come into fruition for not only myself, but you guys, because I'm obviously on the internet all the time. And actually, a lot of people message me too. And a lot of you guys are going to school. So seeing you guys do that and accomplishing your goals, especially my women, like, dude, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And when people message me and they're like, Caitlin, I just applied to this school. Caitlin, I just did this. I'm in high school. What do I do this? Like I wrote some girl's letter. She had to interview someone. And I remember it was like 4 questions. And I went to my mom. I was like, she's like, what? I'm like, some girl asked me to be in an interview, like some high schooler girl. Like, you know how you do those, like whatever job you want to do, you go and interview someone. And I told her, I was like, I'm a student though. Like, is that okay? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And so I did it and I put my back into that shit. Like, obviously people can do like 1 or 2 sentences, but I put like paragraphs in that shit. And it just felt like really good because I'm noticing a lot of high schoolers reach out to me, which is actually kind of surprising to me. I thought that my audience would mostly be like college because I'm in grad school. Hell yeah. Like if we can make more of an impact on our younger generation of women to start getting into education or even if they don't want to get into education, you want to go into be a blue collar worker, start your own business, fucking anything. Like, this is your safe space, dude. I want to draw in women that are very, very open minded to shit. And like, everyone's just trying to help everyone. And who's to say that someday, like, when this shit doesn't grow big, 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 that maybe we can do like a convention or something and everyone has like their own niche. Like, maybe we have like a crystal shop, or maybe we have like some law enforcement people who talk about my forensic psych stuff, or like psychology, or maybe we have professors from this school, or maybe we have, a job fair for this. Like, I just want to get more into the community in any way, shape, and form I can to meet people, figure out what problems are they're having, and how do we combat that. That doesn't mean that I can take on the world. And I know it sounds like I'm taking on the world and that I'm trying to, and like, really, honestly, like, can we really take over the world? No. But can we leave an impact? Yes. Yes, we can. And there's this guy, I forget his name, so my apologies, but his is Higher Up Wellness on TikTok and Instagram. And I heard him saying something like, I don't want to get so big that people are like, this is my name, which I guess that's, really good, because I don't know his name. I just know his at. And he's like, I don't want people to know my name. I want them to know, like, hey, I need to spread and learn about eating healthy and doing these exercises and getting sunlight and walking and all these things, so I can tell to other people. And like, he's making more of an impact just by spreading that knowledge, not spreading his name, which is okay. And my name's on shit too. But I did notice I was replicating that because I'm keeping everything Dark Stories, or Dark Diaries. And how did I mess up my own fucking name? Dark Diaries. And it presents a question of, why is it that? And then it opens up a conversation. And when people think that they're going to look at my stuff and it's all going to be dark, baby, it's dark because we talk about dark shit. But guess what? We pull positive from every negative shit that happens. So really, when you look at this, I want people to really start listening to this and seeing my content and being like, damn, like, I really need to start looking inward at myself. I really need to start asking questions and start learning about the environment around you. And trust me, as I'm going through my doctorate for forensic psych, I will be sharing a lot more about the true crime side. But in my master's right now, I haven't found a lot of knowledge that's kind of like not, and this sounds really bad to say, but it's true, that's like so progressively out there that I didn't already know, that, or that other people wouldn't already know, like basic knowledge that it's not even worth kind of talking about. But talking about human behavior in this sense, or talking about Robert Greene's book and things like that, I feel comfortable talking about. But yeah, we just have so much going on in 2025, guys, and I'm so excited to be doing it with you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I truly cannot wait to meet you guys in person someday and see where this goes, because again, it's going to happen. So with that being said, I'm going to close out, and you guys better be making your 2025 manifestation list. Okay. Love you, babies. Bye.